Use differences to find a pattern in a sequence: 5, 11, 13, 12, 9, 5, and 1. What we want to do for this one is go ahead and write these numbers out. And we're going to start with the 5, obviously, and then we'll write 11, we'll write 13, we'll write 12, 9, 5, and then 1. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the difference between these two numbers. And that's going to be 5 minus 11, which is going to give me a negative 6. I'm going to do that for this next set right here also. And I'm going to have 11 minus 13, which will be a negative 2. And then I'll have 13 minus 12 right here. And I will end up with 1. And then we'll have 12 minus 9 here. And that'll give me 3. And then 9 minus 5 right here. And that will be 4. And then we'll have 5 minus 1, which will also be 4. Now what we're trying to do is get it so that all these numbers are exactly the same. Alright, so now that we realize that we don't have a line that all these numbers are equivalent, we're going to continue the subtraction. So this will be negative 6 minus a negative 2, which will give me negative 4. This right here is going to be negative 2 minus 1, which will be negative 3. This right here is going to be 1 minus 3, and that's going to be a negative 2. This will be 3 minus 4, which will give me a negative 1. And then 4 minus 4 will be 0. So once again, we can see that I do not have a row of numbers that are equal. So I'm going to continue. So now we're going to do negative 4 minus negative 3. Negative 4 minus negative 3. That's negative 4 plus 3, which will give me a negative 1. Here we're going to have negative 3 minus 2. Negative 3 minus a negative 2. And that'll be negative 1. This one will be negative 2 minus negative 1. And that'll be a negative 1. And then this one is going to be negative 1 minus 0, which will also be negative 1. Now we're exactly where I want to be. All those numbers are exactly the same, which means that it's going to follow that the next number over should also be a negative 1. Which means that the difference between this 0 and whatever this number right here will be, whatever it might be, is going to have to be negative 1. So we're going to use 0 minus x equals negative 1, which means negative x equals negative 1, i.e. x is equal to 1. So we'll have x equals 1 right here. Now we're going to do that again. Okay, we're going to go ahead and back up, and we're going to have this 4 and some other variable here. Let's use y, and 4 minus y will have to be equal to 1. So therefore negative y is equal to negative 3, and we can say that y will be equal to 3. Then we're going to do it one more time, backing up this number here, this 1, and we're going to subtract some other variable, let's call it z, and we'll end up with 3. So we're going to have 1 minus z is equal to 3. Therefore negative z is equal to 2, and we can say that z is equal to negative 2. And this right here, this negative 2, is going to be our 8th term. So this right here is the 8th term. And we can say that our answer will be this. Assuming that the pattern continues, the 8th term should be negative